G'day and welcome back to the shed. And today I've got this Bush VHF 64 that I restored a couple of years ago. Sold it to a gentleman, and I don't like it when things come back, but he's brought this one back because it's got a problem. And the problem is this: the tuning dial moves about as far as that and then stops. So there's something gone wrong with the dial cord or something in there. Now, I like doing dial cords about as much as everyone else does, that is not very much at all. So it sat in the corner over there for far too long, and I really need to fix it and give it back to him. I don't know, this is going to be a short video, hopefully, I really hope so, or a long video in which I'll get involved in the intricacies of dial cords that won't play. But it did work well when I gave it to him. But I rewatched the video and noticed that it was running very nicely, so I don't know what's gone wrong. Something mechanical, I guess, in there. So I guess let's have a look at it. So yeah, the dial pointer moves quite freely along there, along to the end, and gets to here, and that's it. It feels springy, so it's like it's catching on something. If I turn the knob, it actually springs back. Now, taking the back off, it has these screws in it, which I'm sure I didn't put in. There's 4 of them here, and there's a sticker here that says 1957 Bush, which I didn't put on it. So I suspect that the new owner has at least had it open. Maybe he has tried to fix it himself. I remember now that I made this back panel, it didn't have one with it. In fact, this radio was an absolute basket case. It arrived with a smashed dial glass, and the cabinet had been damaged by the post. Mostly because it was very poorly packaged by the person I bought it from. Anyway, this should now come out. That just holds the FM dipole, which just plugs into here. And there we go. Looking back at this is a serious piece of radio. These 2 huge speakers here, an electrostatic tweeter, and up here I've mounted the Bluetooth board. I'd forgotten I did Bluetooth on this, but it certainly is a great candidate for it. So with the back off it, I'll just run the tuning through again and see what's happening. Okay, so that is fully open at that point. So it goes back to here, so it seems like the whole mechanism has slipped somehow. So it only goes back to halfway. So it seems that maybe what's stopping it from going further? It does keep going, it's just way off. The mechanism, yeah, now it's fully closed. So what's happened to the pointer? Is it just way out of place? It's somehow been moved across. Now it goes over to there. Does this move along? It's unplugged, of course. Just undo this so I can get my hand in there and see if I can move this along. I'm not sure where it must have an end position. I think I might be lucky here. I think just the pointer's slipped. try and move that along a little bit further. I think that's end of travel, that dot there. Could I be so lucky? Okay, so that's a little bit to the right of that dot on this side. So it needs to go 1/4 of an inch to the left. About there. Oh, I pushed it the wrong way, I think. That's about the same distance from that end. Okay, look, I'll turn it on, see if I can get it to line up with the stations and fasten it in place somehow. Other than that, it seems to go perfectly. Okay, so let's turn it on. I'll put it on medium wave, I guess. I haven't got an aerial on it, of course, so that won't help. Yeah, I'll hook up an aerial, just a sec. Okay, so on medium wave again. Wait for it to warm up.
Let's go through a couple of the key matchups and just a general feel about this game. I reckon this has come at a perfect time for the outside footy world to learn something about both teams today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last year the Suns would have some bad losses, especially well documented their games away from
now.
But as I mentioned earlier, can they bounce back with their maturity? Yeah, they played poorly last week. Mentally, they weren't ready.
The medium wave, in fact, all of the AM bands are in meters. That is 720 ABC on 350 meters. So I'll just do a quick calculation and work out if that's correct. After a little bit of mucking around, I found that dial pointer was actually moving backwards and forwards on the dial string as you tune, just in normal operation. You come to the end of travel and it would go a bit further. It was never in the same place, so what I've done is I've put a drop of super glue on it, and it should now stay put on the string. Managed, luckily, not to get super glue on the track, and it seems to be running properly. Of course, before I did that, I worked out the meters to kilohertz equation and set it so that it does sit on the stations the way it should. So that should be fine. I think now it seems to line up with all the stations. I haven't tested the FM band, but I guess if the AM band lines up, the FM will too. It did before. Okay, so let's see how we're going. And we've got the football coming in on 720 ABC, the local ABC. At 720 kilohertz, that converts to 416 meters. Now there's 400, it's just past there, it'll be close to 420. So that's as close as I can tell. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can find 810 kilohertz, which will be Radio National. It will be on 370.1 meters. So if there's 350, should be about there. So there it is.
He's dead. Allows me to feel like he is no longer at risk of perpetrating harm.
And so how is your grief these days? How do you
and we should get at the other higher up the scale at 1080 kilohertz we should get 6IX, and that will be 277.5 meters. So 250, 300, so it'll be yeah, it's not all that accurate anyway, but there it is. It's a very weak station. Okay, so things are lining up pretty well as far as that goes. We can try VHF. Now, I don't know what we've got, but at least the station names, we should get 96 FM, around 96 there. So I'll see how that goes.
95. To interrupt, but there's no need for that. It's just over.
It should be there. That might be it.
Hot water needs replacing. Go for one that's steady, hot and strong. Ask your plumber to install the
See if I can identify this one.
30 points the margin. Can
I
the
don't
Swans
know.
hit back? They need to.
Football, they're not going to identify the station.
Oh, wait.
Hard to identify the stations. It seems to be covering, if that's 100 FM, 101.5 I think is just coming in there, if I'm lucky. But yeah, unless they tell me who they are, I don't really know. Okay, the only other thing I can test on this really, I guess, is whether the Bluetooth still works, so I'll try that. Just push Graham. And we'll see if we can get some radio streaming happening here. Of course that might be music too, so I'll have to stop this. But at least it's working. I'd forgotten what a great sounding radio this is. Gee, I hope I sold it for a good amount of money. I forget how much I got for it now. Anyway, that was a very quick fix, so let's have a look at what else I've got lying around the shed waiting to be done. So next up, and from the same owner as the Bush VHF 64, I've got this little, I guess it's a radiola. The R and the A are missing, so it's actually an adiol. But may once have been a radiola, and it's a main set. It's got a plug in the side here. This will be AC off, battery saver full, activate. I don't know what activate means. I'll put it on AC. Let's have a look inside, see what we've got. And one of the clips on that side's gone, but okay, so obviously a valve set, ferrite rod antenna, dual gang tuner, so it won't have a separate RF stage, and this looks like battery plugs in the bottom. Must have had A and B batteries. Pretty hard to get batteries for these things these days. Can't see anything horrible in there. It's got polyester caps in there. I don't see any paper caps. Transformer, I guess, what's that? That's a 6x4 rectifier in there. Can't see filter caps yet. Up in the corner there's a big Ducon can. I don't know if you can see that. Right up in the corner on top of the tuning cap. The light isn't getting in there very well. It's probably original. Doesn't look dreadful, so what I might do is put this on dim bulb and see if we get anything out of it. What's this? That's, oh, I don't know what that cutout is for. We've got the valve line up here, 6x4, sorry, it's the other way up. So 6x4 rectifier, 1R5, a 1T4, a 1S5 and a 3V4, which will probably be a double triode or something. 90 volt battery there, and 7.5 volt battery there. And it says batteries number 719, 7.5 volt, and number 490p for 90 volts. Well, good luck going down to the supermarket and buying them now. I'll just close this up. Oh, and the dial's fallen off it. Oh dear. This looks pretty sad actually. It's got the ring still with it, but a lot of the plastic's broken off and it's very cloudy and grubby looking. Let's see if we can get this back on with any, yeah, I don't know. That will obviously fit on there. It does push on, so we will have some tuning control, I think. Yeah, that seems to turn the spindle. Alright, well, dim bulb is a great thing. Let's just plug it in, see if it goes bang. I have no idea exactly what he wants done with these radios. Whether he wants me to just get them going or what. Let's turn it on dim bulb, and yeah, the bulb isn't lighting up. Does this do anything? Nope. I thought I heard something there. No, it seems pretty much dead. I could... I'm seeing 225 volts and pulling 18.9 watts. So it's pulling current, it's not hearing anything. It should be hearing something, surely. Yep, we've got some reception there.
Well, we've seen
okay, so that seems to be alright. I might just go off dim bulb because it's not doing anything alarming. It's pulling 19 watts.
First in, best dressed, and first in gets protected. Whereas now, I've seen it creep in last year. Whether you like it or not, it is part of the fundamental. Go with the balls there. And we both look at each other, and it's basically we pull up, and then we kind of contest the ball without one of us coming in and counting. I've seen it. Some players are adapting to it quickly.
Well, this one works. I don't know if that was full volume. I'll just put it on again.
And just get that ball moving instead of trying to get that collision. They're just trying to get rid of those. Do you like that or not? I told you I don't like it, but I understand it.
It does go quite loud. Seems to be picking up quite well, actually. So again, I don't know whether he wants me to try and restore the cabinet or what. I'm not very good with leather work. Yeah, I'll have to contact him and see what he wants. Okay, next up, I've got this thing. Got Peel written on the front of it, P-E-A-L. And I'm guessing from the looks of it, it's a battery set. It's got a couple of screws there, which probably open the battery compartment. Let's have a look inside. Ah, what a beautiful little radio. Wow. Okay. What does that do? Apart from falling off. I'll tighten that before we lose it. Okay. This will be tuning. Yep. And it works. Oh no, it's a bit stiff. It only moves a little bit. Might be a dial cord to be done there. What a lovely little design though. Look at that catch there. Obviously used to have a leather handle on top. We could probably do something about that. And this leather cloth, it's looking a bit sad, but that could probably be patched up to look half decent. Let's have a look in here. I suppose this will need multiple batteries and I won't be able to get it going or anything without some fettling. Oh my god, it's still got the batteries in it. Look at that. Now, how does this top come off? I don't think it does. You could possibly pull the chassis out forward. Someone's driven a couple of hideous Phillips head screws in here. Okay, so let's have a look in here. Now here we have a mess of battery plugs. B minus, I guess, and B plus 90. Okay. Ever ready plugs. At least it's got the original plugs, but if they are original, fun stock clips on them, so this may not be the right thing at all. And a couple of loose ends. A minus and A 1.5, so it needs a 1.5 battery and a 90. Now I could cobble that together using 9-volt batteries, 10 of them. We've got two 45s here. These things say 45. Let's have a look at this. Wow, look at that. Ever Ready Minimax. Date sold, but it doesn't have it written there. It bounces back for extra life and recovers power between uses, so it should have recovered quite a lot of power. 45 volts. And let me see. Do these plugs fit it? They do, I think. Yes. And we have another one identical. I feel a bit lumpy. I'll put this on here too. And this one here, 1.5 volts. And what a whopper. This is a battery. Look at that. Oh, and the wires just clip straight onto the top. That'll make it easy. We'll just connect them up and off she'll go. I wonder what's inside that. The top's loose. Oh, nothing really to be seen. You could pack that full of C-cells or something. And as for these, yes, you could put an adapter with some 9-volt batteries in there, so 5 in each for 45 volts. That would be worth doing. It would also be worth my while, I think, to scan this packaging so that I can make up facsimiles of these. Okay, so I can't at the moment do it because I haven't got anything that'll supply 90 volts. But, gee, that's a nice little piece of kit. Now there was clearly a screw in there, but that's gone and that's gone. Looks like, yeah, the chassis is loose. Let's just see what we've got. Okay, it looks like this screw and perhaps this one is holding it in. Now let's see what happens. Yep. Okay, I'll just move this forward so that the lid drops down fully. Let's see if we can just, yes, it's coming out. Oh, look at that. Let's put the case aside for the moment. Wow, we have four valves, sorry. What's this? This is a clip for an extra wire on the speaker. Could be for an extension speaker. We have a dial cord that appears intact but is binding up and is quite loose, so it looks very simple. It should be easy enough to get that fixed. Down here we've got VA and ME Trobe, phone 183 Meriden, radio and electrical sales and service. Phone 183. How long is it since people have had phone numbers like that? We've got a Ducon capacitor there. Looks like a single one, I don't know. Let's have a look underneath. Couple of waxes there. Pots, that's the tuning string that's bound up. Can't do very much about that, it'll just need to be tightened. No valve diagram here that I can see, but they'll be bound to be 1 volt valves. Yeah, there'll be an aerial coil, or perhaps it's the oscillator, I'm not too sure. So 2 IFs, 5-inch roller speaker, looks to be in good nick. We've got this contact switch here. You know what that might... No, it breaks when you push it. Makes when you release it. I wonder what that does. What's it hooked up to? I can't see. There's no dial light, so it's not for that. So these two and these two contacts are closed. Oh, that's nearly falling out there. And when you push this button, they break. So I'm really not sure what that's meant to do. So the wiring from that switch comes out here and goes to the battery cord and to here. I'm not sure what that does. Okay, so let's have a look at the valve lineup, and starting here we have a 6B, is that right? This one here I can't read. Unfortunately the writing's gone off it. In this corner we have a mini watt one. Again the writing's gone off that. I don't know what it would be. And one R5 at the back here. So there'll be 1 volt filaments, and I hope that they're not open because hard to get. So this will be an interesting little project when I finally get to it. Looking inside the cabinet, we've got these 2 wires attached to something on the side there. It looks like just a staple through the wood, but I guess it would be attached to something. Red one on that side, and there's a black one similar on this side. Nothing rattling, it's just the handle. I wonder if there's some kind of internal aerial that is or was attached to that. Don't really know. In any case, for now I'm going to put it back together. Just make sure those wires are free. It's hard to tell. There we go. I'll put his little screws back in. Alright, well there we go. All the batteries back in their place. I'll just tuck the cords under here and put its back panel on. That must go that way. This has to go the other way up. course I'm not going to be connecting these up, so it doesn't really matter, but yes, that will go on like that. Okay, so that's going to be a great little project for when I get time. Now the next thing I've got on the waiting list is this big HMV model C23B, and quite a big radio. Comes with a cord of sorts, and has an outlet here, presumably to plug something else into it, a table lamp, perhaps a record player or a deck of some sort. It does have a pickup input here, aerial and earth. Turning it around, Bakelite cabinet, and it's in nice condition. I can't see any damage to it. The dials all intact. That's plastic, so that's probably a good thing. Speech, normal bass, bass 2, on off volume, that seems to work. Tuning, does the tuning work? Yes. The pointer moves. Yay, no dial string. We've got broadcast, shortwave and gram. And quite a handsome dial on this one, very big. Unfortunately, being horizontal, it's going to collect dust all the time. But yes, it all seems to work, and the tuning has a nice flywheel effect on it. Runs very smoothly. There's a ring-in screw there, and it looks like they look like Carl's knob felts, but they're a little bit too big for it, and it's got a rather crumpled brown paper backing on this, which doesn't really work, I don't think. Well, let's just turn it around and have the back off it and see what's inside. It does look as if it's had some attention fairly recently, and 2 screws to take the back off by the looks of it. So we'll do that. And there's nothing attached to the back. All looks very clean inside. So across here we've got an EBF 35, a 6U7, a 6V6 for the output, no doubt. And is this a 5Y 3G? And hidden up here around the corner there's a little miniature valve just up in there. I don't know what that is. Possibly been replaced from something original. We've got a speaker transformer there. Oh, and guess what's missing? There's no speaker. Big hole where the speaker should be. That's a pity. That's not going to go for us, is it? Still, be an interesting project. Probably got a speaker lying around that would do the job. Would certainly be worth getting it going, I think. Yeah, so that's what I've got lined up at the moment, and they're the ones that are owned by someone else that I'm supposed to repair, apparently. I've also got the Genelex radiogram right here that I've been working on, and that's probably going to be next up. I've got an AWA Radiola radiogram down there, and 60s one, I think, and another radiogram outside. You can only have so many radiograms. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Just thought I'd give you a quick look over what I've got waiting, and I'll be back soon with probably the Genelex radiogram. Catch you then. Bye for now.